Welcome everyone, and I hope you're going to enjoy today's episode of Case Interviews and Management Consulting. In today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about Bain and the emphasis they place on fit. Look, all firms worry about fit. This is not something that's solely about Bain, but I do know, and I've seen it with clients, that Bain takes fit more seriously in a way. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Because I think a lot of really good clients don't end up doing very well because they just don't understand this. Now, when I say obsession with fit, that's not an insult to Bain at all. In some ways, it's a compliment. I think they do worry a lot about fit and personality. And you can understand why. They're a much smaller firm. When you're a smaller firm, you know that every person you bring in has a greater dilutive effect on the total personality of the firm versus someone joining McKinsey, which is such a large organization that one person is not going to have the same effect. I mean, Bain's large, but it's still pretty small, right? So Bain does worry about fit and personality enormously. Every client I deal with, when they're about to go for a Bain interview, I always tell them, hey, you got to understand that Bain worries about fit and personality. And every client, by and large, will tell me, yeah, I understand this. Let's move on to cases. I say, but what do you mean by you understand this? Because I don't think you understand this. I don't think you understand how important it is to them. Explain to me what I mean when I say fit's important to Bain. They'll say, well, Michael, I watched you say, I know that fit is not just the fit questions asked in the interview, but it's the way you behave during all parts of the interview, whether it's cases, whether it's when you meet the consultant in the reception area. They look at all those things. So I think that's what I mean, yes. But I think people are giving it lip service. They're not thinking about, okay, if Bain is assessing your fit at all times, what is a good way to demonstrate fit? Now, that's what you got to think about. Let's put it in a different way. Bain's a smaller firm. That's a fact. If Bain's a smaller firm, on average, they will hire fewer people because there'll be fewer slots. So let's think about it this way, right? If there are on average, I mean, this is just a number I'm making up, but if there are 10,000 people who are applying to McKinsey, BCG, and Bain in North America, I'm assuming if you apply to BCG and McKinsey, you apply to Bain as well. That's generally the case, and vice versa. Now, there's 10,000 people applying to Bain. As a smaller firm, Bain is going to hire fewer people. It's not because they're more selective, it's because they're a smaller firm, right? So let's assume Bain only hires 100, BCG 200, McKinsey 300. Because Bain is hiring fewer people, they can be more refined in the way they apply their criteria. And they are, by and large, more refined in the way they apply their criteria. Not again because they're more selective, but because of their size versus the number trying to get in, right? A couple of things you have to know about Bain. You have to convince them that you really want to be there and you really deserve to belong there. And those things are different. You know, we've had clients, a classic situation, this is a real situation, I've had clients, I once had 4 clients interviewing for the same position in Brussels for Bain over a 2-day period. So 1 was from the UK, 2 were from Belgium, and 1 was from North Africa. 3 guys, 1 female. The female from North Africa was basically the fish out of water because on every conceivable measure she should not have gotten the offer, because basically, how does she show she belongs to a culture she knows nothing about? How does she come across pleasant, energetic, enthusiastic to a culture which she doesn't even know much about? How does she know what looks like enthusiastic and energetic for Belgians, right? I mean, I was shocked to see what goes for being energetic and enthusiastic in Canada when I first moved here, because this is a really subdued nation, right? So, in all conceivable measures, she shouldn't do well. She shouldn't have gotten the offer. But here's the thing about this lady. She truly was excited to be interviewing with Bain Brussels. I mean, you could see it. She was excited, right? She was very, very, very excited to be interviewing in Bain Brussels. She was truly grateful for the opportunity, and she had prepared very well. I thought the preparation was phenomenal. She knew everything. She picked it up fast. She asked all the right questions. She didn't know anything when she came in. I mean, basic stuff like what is cash flow, what is an income statement. Didn't know it. She asked the right questions. I taught her. She picked it up and moved on. But the key thing for her is that she showed them she really wanted to be there. And she showed she deserved to be there. The deserve to be there is how you do in your cases. Show you want to be there is enthusiasm, energy levels, and just you're grateful for the opportunity. A lot of people, when they go in to do cases, I think they are grateful for the opportunity. I obviously know that, given all the effort you put into get good grades, serve on leadership committees, put together an application. I mean, obviously, you're grateful for the interview, right? But what we forget is that firms are a partnership, essentially. I mean, no firms are really a partnership these days. They're all incorporated, but they run like a partnership. But basically, a partnership is a group of individuals that want to work together, and therefore they are looking to admit other people into the partnership and they want to work with them. And we forget this when we do cases. We forget that you need to show enthusiasm, energy, excitement in a case. You can't go into a case interview at Bain, well, you can't do this with any firm, but I would say Bain more than others, and look as if, firstly, you're not enjoying it, the case is not exciting, and you're not sure if you want to work there. Because the reality is, given how small the firm is, and again, I don't mean it in a derogative sense. Small is not bad. It could be good for them, right? Given how small they are, and given the fact that they are going to be recruiting from the same pool as McKinsey and BCG, if the definition of selective is the number of people who get in absolute terms, then they are the most selective firm. That's obviously not the right definition, but that's how many people look at it. And what you've got to show them is that not only do you have the skills, you want to be there. Have energy, have enthusiasm, dress nice, be able to talk to people, make people feel good about themselves. Do you know how many people, the day before they go into an interview, I always tell them, what is the most important thing you need to do with the interview? And they'll say something like, well, I need to communicate clearly, I need to shake their hands, I need to solve the case, I need to ask them questions at the end. No. That's none of it. The most important thing you have to do with the interviewer is make this a wonderful experience for the interviewer. If you make it a wonderful experience for the interviewer, why would they not hire you? If you are someone who can make solving a business problem enjoyable, the firm is going to want you because those are the kind of people they're going to put in front of clients. They want to put people in front of clients who make the process of solving a complex problem enjoyable, because those kind of consultants make the friction of working with a client zero, basically. And if a client finds the process enjoyable, the client wants to work with you even more. And basically, that's how I built my career, right? I would go in with some of the worst clients the firm had, and I talk about this in other shows. We've got the partnership where that's an entire program we have. I talk about this in rebuilding a consulting practice as well. If you can make clients and consultants feel good, you will set yourself apart from everyone. So coming back to Bain, 2 parts. Show them you deserve to be there through the cases, but show them you want to be there through your energy levels and so on. Now, the story about the lady from North Africa, we have an interview with her where I have a discussion with her. That's available on the strategytraining.com website, and I believe it's only available to FC insiders. So remember this as you do cases. This would apply to any firm, whether you're applying to Bain, BCG, or McKinsey, and I would say it should be a general advice in life. Make people want to work with you, and you will always be successful. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post them.